I know I said episode 3 we would start building your CV. We will get there, episode 4, I promise. But there are a few setup details I missed that are specific to you as an African professional entering the remote market. And I would rather we cover them now before you start applying than have you find out the hard way mid-process. So 4 things, let's go. 1, payment methods. Before you apply for a single remote role, you need to answer one question. How am I going to get paid? Because the moment a client or a company says yes and asks for your payment details is not the moment for you to start figuring it out. Okay? Here's the reality for African professionals. Payment infrastructure varies significantly across the continent, and it is your responsibility to research what works in your specific country. PayPal works in some African countries and not others. In some countries, you can send but not receive. So check your country specifically before counting on it. Wise is a strong option where it is available. But again, do your due diligence, do your research, and check availability in your specific country. Pioneer. This one works in most African countries and it is commonly accepted by remote employers, freelancing platforms, and agencies. You receive your payment into your Pioneer account and transfer it into your local bank account. For example, in Zimbabwe, Pioneer is an option. Bank transfers. These work, but obviously there are a few things to consider. For example, international transfers can take 3 to 5 business days to reflect. There will be international bank transfers. So my recommendation is for you to consult with your local bank so you can ask them specifically about international transfers, charges, timelines, etc. The point here is not for me to tell you exactly what to use. The point is for you to research what works in your country, set it up during your onboarding week, and get it ready before you send your first application. Because getting paid is not a detail, it is the entire point. 2, priority and non-priority countries. So many recruitment agencies operate what they call priority and non-priority country lists when sourcing remote workers from Africa. Priority countries are typically those with reliable remote working infrastructure. For example, multiple payment method options, multiple internet service providers, predictable power supply. South Africa would be a good example. Another one is Kenya. PayPal works there, so they have strong mobile money infrastructure. Countries like Zimbabwe, Malawi, etc., they may sit lower on those priority lists, not because the talent is not there, but because the infrastructure questions are harder for agencies to tick off quickly. But here's what I want you to understand. This is not a closed door. It is a positioning challenge. When you're applying from a non-priority country, your application needs to answer questions the agency is already asking before asking them. Are you remote ready? Do you have reliable internet? Do you have power backup? Can you receive payment? How do you manage connectivity issues? When your job hunting tools, your CV, your cover letter, portfolio, LinkedIn profile, answer all those questions clearly, you remove the hesitation. You are no longer a risk, you are a solution. I've seen professionals from Zimbabwe, Malawi, Zambia land competitive global remote roles. I myself included, not because geography or location stopped being a factor, but because they positioned themselves so well that it became irrelevant. That is the work, and that is exactly what this series is about. Number 3, types of contracts. When you land a remote role, you would typically encounter one of 3 working arrangements. Full-time employment. You are an employee. The company manages your taxes, you may have benefits, and you have employment protections. This is less common for remote hires from Africa, but it exists. Freelance or project-based. You are hired for a specific deliverable or project. When the project ends, so does the engagement. So it is good for building a portfolio and a track record. But for some, it actually becomes a mainstream source of income. And then the most common one, the 1099 contractor arrangement. This is American tax terminology, but the concept applies across international remote hiring. You are an independent contractor. You invoice the employer. You are responsible for your own taxes. There is no sick leave, no paid holiday, no medical aid, no pension, no employment protections. It's a no work, no pay contract. The 1099 is the reality for the majority of remote workers from Africa. And I'm not saying do not take it. I'm saying understand what it means before you sign it. Because here's what can happen. A company offers you a contractor rate that sounds reasonable. Let us say $800 a month. You are excited, you sign, and then you realize that $800 is all you get. No benefits on top, no sick days, no holiday pay. You are giving them your full professional output and they are paying you the minimum that they calculated they could get away with. This is why understanding your value is not a soft skill. It is a financial necessity because when you are a contractor, you are running a business. Your hourly rate needs to account for the fact that you have no safety net. Therefore, you need to price yourself accordingly, aligned to your value and not desperately. Read every contract before you sign it. Understand what you're agreeing to. And do not let excitement make you sign something that does not reflect your worth. Number 4, load shedding and backup. This one is straightforward, guys. It's going to be quick. If you're based in Africa, backup power is not optional. It's a professional requirement. There are so many backup power options: UPS, inverter, generator, solar power system, and based on where you reside on the African continent, you can go for the best option. Same with internet backup. Always have a mobile data backup because remote ready means your setup works even when the grid does not. Everything I've just covered, payment infrastructure, country prioritization, contract structures, power backup, all of them are manageable. None of them are reasons not to pursue remote work. But there are reasons to prepare, to understand your market, and to position yourself as a credible, remote-ready professional who has thought about all of this before an employer has to ask. And again, this is exactly what we are building in this series. Episode 4, we start on your CV for real this time. Drop your country name in the comments and tell me what payment method you are using or planning to use. I'll respond directly. Link to my training programs is in the description box. See you in episode 4.